Persona 3 Reload has come out and it has taken some time to finally get to the game's new features to give a proper impressions video on how I overall feel about the game so far. So is it worth the wait for Persona 3 Reload? In my opinion, yes. And that's the video. See you in the next one. Peace. Okay, just kidding. Let me go into detail as to why Persona 3 Reload was worth the wait.
When I wonder if the path is in the right direction.
Now, Persona 3's overall looked very cool, with giving you a taste of the city environment, along with giving you a variety of things to do, whether it be with S-Links or buying stuff. Regardless to say, these environments are now in HD format, which is a lot better than Persona 3 Portable's format, which makes it so much more encapsulating. Although Persona 3 FES doesn't look bad by any means by today's standards, especially with an emulator, I'd even go as far as to argue some sections just look a slight bit better, like the rooftop at the school and Itodai Station. Just something about these sections, something with the lighting, something with the environment, just makes these sections just look slightly better on FES, and I wish they would have added that same charm to Reload, but they still look good none the least. And despite saying that, I'd still argue the amount of details is so much more prominent, especially in Reload, but especially the more activities that you can do at night, whether it's hanging out with one of your homies or boosting your social stats. I believe these changes make an overall huge difference when comparing it to FES, especially with the areas having more details in them, whether it's reflections or just overall it looking pretty, especially at night. So I can't really see myself really going back to FES anytime soon. And honestly, it's impressive looking at it from the perspective of the fact that these are mostly just reused dancing assets from Persona 3 Dancing, so I'm just really impressed with what they were able to do with Persona 3's environments. Now that that's out of the way, I'd like to pull your attention to the combat of Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload's combat is a lot better in a lot of ways of not just being able to control your party members, which thank God there wasn't a weird design philosophy around that. Look, I know some people like that mechanic, but I grew up on Final Fantasy and never understood Persona 3's initial choice despite the interviews about your party members being a separate entity than the player. Regardless, say, you can play Reload and have a ton of fun grinding in Tartarus. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yes, the combat is actually modernized in such a way that it's exciting to get into battles now. Hitting the weakness and doing an all-out attack. Wait a minute. Is this Persona 5? No, it can't be. This reviewer said it wasn't. Okay, joking aside, Reload retains certain elements of simply attacking that is within Persona 3 FES. You do damage based on the number of times your party member decides to attack. It seems purely RNG, but I like this touch a lot as it shows they get what elements existed in FES, than just being lazy about it and them just doing one attack, for instance, that wouldn't have represented the original at all. Secondly, the all-out attack isn't them doing some flashy pose at the end of the battle. It's them tidying up after the battle, which to me represents Persona 3's elegancy for most of the characters. So the end credit all-out attack screen, to me, it represents Persona 3 a lot more than it does, copying Persona 5 in that sense. I think it has a unique touch to it and very much characterizes Persona 3's themes of the characters. Now let's talk about Third G. Third G is a new mechanic introduced for Persona 3 Reload, giving a character a showtime event of sorts. This game truly is Persona 5 Royal, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna call it as it is, and say, yeah, this pretty much is a showtime event. With your party members, this is essentially a showtime event besides the protagonists. Although it kind of is, it still represents the original Persona 3 FES in the sense that you could do combo Persona attacks. That would only happen if you had said Personas in your party at the time. Now, as far as I've played, it doesn't seem like you need to have those personas in your stock anymore. It more so seems like you can do this whenever the protagonist has Third G available and you have the said personas unlocked. Another thing to mention is Fuka. Once you get Fuka in the party, she does very useful things like showing the enemy's affinity, but when her third G is activated, you will get most of your health back and a lot of your SP recovered, which makes it really hard for you to want to leave TARDIS, especially since the combat is so fun now, and the rewards at the end of battle are more obtainable. They went with Golden's reward style, which I 100% approve. Screw the shuffle system entirely. There is also a new system introduced with this, that is the Arcana Burst, which boosts attack damage for all attacks, rages, stats, receiving bonus items, and finally boosting XP at the end of battle. Once it's activated, it'll raise the bonuses for the end of the battle, which makes grinding and getting certain skill cards so much better. Overall, the combat feels so much better than both FES and Portable. For me, there's no going back to FES ever again, even with controllable party members modded into the game. Lastly, TARDIS Exploration. Now it's primarily the same, but with being able to sprint and the dynamic layout makes it feel a lot better exploring each floor with the treasure that's scattered around each room. The visual upgrades also make it a lot more appealing on the eyes. There's also more Fuka support options within the exploration of TARDIS, which is balanced by her having her own SP stats. So with that all being said, those are my initial thoughts on Persona 3 Reload. So when the question comes to mind, was Persona 3 Reload worth the wait? I'd say yes, 100%. It's hard going back to FES, and to be honest, this is the definitive way to play Persona 3. I'm sure with me saying that, people will be like, but it doesn't have the answer. And honestly, I'm glad, at least for now, depending what they do with it. Because the answer absolutely is terrible in FES, narratively and gameplay wise. So I really hope they fix it a lot. Especially, I hope they fix for what people didn't like about it in 2007 and currently. Because the answer really isn't all of that, and although it does add another story to the game, it genuinely needs a lot of work done, which is a video that I might end up making. But we'll see. With that all being said though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Until the coming over down.
For the days ahead of us, put your hands up, wave it side to side for good luck. For the nights like this, put your hands up, love the moment even from dusk. Yo, you always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that. No, it's been a good